Imagine a world where the richest and most famous people on the planet rub shoulders in secret. Private islands, lavish parties, and a web of connections that could shake the foundations of power. But what if behind the glamour lies something much darker? Today on Timeless Voices, we're diving deep into one of the most controversial stories of our time, the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. We'll explore who Epstein was, how he built his empire of influence, and why so many Hollywood stars' names have surfaced in the recently unsealed court documents. This isn't about wild conspiracies, it's about facts, testimonies, and the questions they raise. Stick around, because the truth is stranger than fiction. Let's start at the beginning. Jeffrey Epstein was born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York, to a modest family. He wasn't born into wealth, but he had a knack for numbers and ambition that propelled him into the elite circles. Epstein dropped out of college, but landed a job teaching math and physics at the prestigious Dalton School in Manhattan in the 1970s. There, he caught the eye of a student's father, who was a top executive at Bear Stearns, a major Wall Street firm. Epstein joined Bear Stearns in 1976 and quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a limited partner by 1980. But Epstein's real fortune came when he struck out on his own. In 1981, he founded his own financial consulting firm, Intercontinental Assets Group, later rebranded as J. Epstein & Co. He managed money for billionaires, including Les Wexner, the founder of Les Brands, which owns Victoria's Secret. His pitch? He only took clients with at least $1 billion. His net worth ballooned to hundreds of millions, allowing him to buy mansions in New York, Palm Beach, Paris, and even a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands called Little St. James, infamously dubbed Pedophile Island by locals and media. Epstein's island was a 72-acre paradise, or nightmare depending on who you ask. It had luxurious villas, a helipad, pools, and even a mysterious blue-striped temple. But according to court documents and survivor testimonies, it was the site of horrific abuses. Epstein was accused of running a sex trafficking ring, luring underage girls with promises of modeling careers or scholarships, only to exploit them. He allegedly used his wealth and connections to silence victims and evade justice for years. In 2005, Florida police began investigating Epstein after a 14-year-old girl reported being molested at his Palm Beach home. The probe uncovered dozens of victims, but Epstein cut a controversial plea deal in 2008. He pled guilty to state charges of procuring a minor for prostitution and solicitation, serving just 13 months in a county jail with work release privileges. Critics called it the deal of the century, a slap in the wrist enabled by his powerful friends. Fast forward to 2019, the Miami Herald's Perversion of Justice series reignited scrutiny. Epstein was arrested for federal sex trafficking charges. While awaiting trial, he died in his jail cell on August 10, 2019, officially ruled a suicide, though conspiracy theories abound. His accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, was convicted in 2021 and sentenced to 20 years. But the story didn't end there. In 2023, a lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre against Maxwell led to the unsealing of thousands of documents. By 2025 and 2026, the U.S. Department of Justice released over 6 million pages, emails, flight logs, photos, and testimonies. These Epstein files name hundreds of people, from politicians to celebrities. Importantly, being named doesn't mean guilt. Many were just acquaintances or name-dropped by Epstein to impress others. But the connections raise eyebrows about how a convicted sex offender mingled with the stars. Now let's turn to Hollywood. The files mention actors, directors, models, and musicians. We'll examine each one from your list based on verified court records and reports from sources like Newsweek, PBS, BBC, CNN, and Wikipedia. Remember, these are facts, no speculation. Epstein loved name-dropping celebrities to build his aura of invincibility. In depositions, victims like Johanna Soberg recounted how Epstein would casually mention stars during massages or conversations. Soberg testified in 2016 that Epstein said, "I know all these famous people," but she emphasized she never met most of them. This context is crucial. Mentions often came from Epstein boasting, not evidence of involvement. Let's start with Leonardo DiCaprio, the Oscar-winning actor known for Titanic, Inception, and environmental activism. DiCaprio's name appears in the 2024 unsealed documents from Giuffre's lawsuit. Soberg testified that Epstein received a call from Leonardo while she was massaging him. Epstein allegedly said, "Leonardo DiCaprio is calling, but it was mundane, something about a movie." Soberg clarified she never met DiCaprio, and there's no evidence he visited Epstein's properties or knew about the crimes. Newsweek reported in 2024 that DiCaprio was among names referenced but not accused. DiCaprio's reps have denied any close ties, stating he never met Epstein. Yet, flight logs from Epstein's Lolita Express jet show no DiCaprio, but the mention highlights how Epstein used Hollywood glamour to lure others. Next, Cameron Diaz, the bubbly star of Charlie Angel's There's Something About Mary and Shrek. Diaz's reference is similar. In the files unsealed in January 2024, Soberg testified Epstein mentioned Diaz as someone he knew. He would just rattle off names, she said. No meetings, no visits. Newsweek's 2024 article listed Diaz among actors mentioned in testimony, emphasizing no wrongdoing. Diaz's team denied any association, per planetchronicle.net in 2024. Interestingly, Epstein's Black Book, a contact list seized in 2005, doesn't include Diaz, suggesting pure name-dropping. Bruce Willis, the action hero of Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, and The Sixth Sense. Willis's appearance is in the same context. Soberg's testimony, Epstein claimed to know Willis, no evidence of interaction. In the 2025 DOJ releases, photos show no Willis. Newsweek reported in 2025 that Willis was referenced in records but not involved. Willis, dealing with health issues, hasn't responded, but his family denied ties via EW.com in 2024. This pattern shows Epstein's manipulation, using stars' names for credibility. Now, Kevin Spacey, a more complex case, the two-time Oscar winner for The Usual Suspects and American Beauty, already controversial due to his own allegations, which he denies. Spacey's connection is visual. The 2025 Epstein files include photos, one of Spacey with Ghislaine Maxwell and Bill Clinton at the Churchill War Rooms in 2002 during a Clinton Foundation trip to Africa. Another, undated photo shows Spacey standing with Epstein. Flight logs confirm Spacey flew on Epstein's jet for the humanitarian trip, but he told Piers Morgan in 2024, "I never spent time with Epstein." Wikipedia's entry on prominent individuals in the files notes Spacey has not been accused of wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. However, the association fueled speculation, especially amid Spacey's legal battles. NBC News in 2024 highlighted the photos, but stressed no criminal links. Naomi Campbell, the supermodel who's graced Hollywood films like Zoolander and appeared in music videos. Campbell's ties are deeper. She admitted knowing Epstein since the 1990s, introduced through mutual friends. In the files, her name appears in flight logs. She flew on his jet multiple times, including to his island. A 2019 video surfaced of Campbell at Epstein's birthday party in 2001. In testimonies, victims mentioned seeing her at events, but Campbell has vehemently denied knowledge of his crimes. In a 2019 YouTube statement, she said, "I am horrified by the allegations." Newsweek in 2025 listed her as mentioned in documents with photos in the 2025 releases showing her with Epstein. No accusations against her, but her presence questions elite social circles. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, whose own controversies shadowed his career. Jackson's mention is poignant. Soberg testified she met Jackson at Epstein's Palm Beach mansion around 2001. "Did you massage him?" lawyers asked. "No," she replied. The 2025 files include photos, Jackson posing with Epstein and standing next to Bill Clinton. The Times, UK, reported in 2024 that Jackson was mentioned in files but not accused. Jackson, who died in 2009, faced his own child abuse allegations, acquitted in 2005. No evidence links him to Epstein's trafficking. George Lucas, the visionary behind Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Lucas's name pops up in Soberg's testimony. Epstein claimed to know him. No meetings reported. Newsweek in 2024 included Lucas in creators mentioned but not accused. No flight logs or photos. Lucas's reps denied any connection, per planetchronicle.net in 2024. It's another example of Epstein's bravado. Jon Stewart, the comedian and former Daily Show host known for sharp satire. Stewart's link is digital. The files include a 2010 email chain where Epstein forwarded a message from Stewart about a potential guest. No direct interaction. EW.com in 2024 called it an email mention without context. Stewart hasn't commented, but no evidence of deeper ties. Finally, weaker mentions. Alec Baldwin and Mick Jagger. Baldwin, star of The Hunt for Red October and SNL Trump impressions, appears in some lists from Epstein's address book per IMDb's 2024 summary. No specifics. Jagger, Rolling Stone's frontman, is in photos from the 2025 files, one with Epstein and Clinton. The Guardian in 2024 noted Jagger among names contained in court documents. Both deny involvement. Jagger's team said it was a casual photo. Now, the heart of the darkness, Little St. James, bought in 1998 for $7.95 million. It became Epstein's playground. Survivors describe being flown there, isolated and abused. Flight logs show celebrities like Clinton 26 times, but he denies island visits, and Prince Andrew settled a lawsuit in 2022. But for our Hollywood list, no direct evidence any visited for illicit purposes. Spacey and Campbell's flights were to other destinations. The files paint a picture of Epstein using the island to enthrall elites, but many stars stayed away. Why mention Hollywood? Epstein craved legitimacy. By associating with stars, he laundered his image. But the real victims were the girls. Over 100 identified, some as young as 14. The Epstein files expose a system where power protects the powerful. Hollywood's mentions remind us fame doesn't equal fault, but accountability matters. As more documents emerge in 2026, stay vigilant. This is Timeless Voices, where history speaks truth. Subscribe, like, and share for more. What do you think? Comment below, but remember, facts over fiction.